Hello and welcome to Geektopia with me, Adam CARRUTHERS, where I like to sit down and discuss anything geeky with you, my friend, right here on the internet. So make sure you leave a comment based on what I'm saying, based on my review of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the latest offering from our friends over at Disney, expanding the Marvel Universe even more. Now, before I start, I just have to say there's a lot of spoilers. I don't think I can do this review without giving some spoilers at least. It's just not doing justice, is it? Yeah, just to be fair. So if you haven't watched it, watch it first and then come back to me. Deal? Cool. Let's start. Setting the scene for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. 6 episodes long. It's the return of Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan in their most famous roles, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's set directly after Avengers Endgame, so Captain America is retired, he's gotten old, he's passed the shield, the mantle, onto his friend Sam of being Captain America. Bucky, of course, is still in the picture. The rest of the world is recovering. It is in a state of recovery from Thanos' snapping, the snap. Remember that? Well, everyone has come back. I mean, think how seismic that is. Half of the world, half of every living thing in the planet and the universe has disappeared for 5 years, and then they magically come back. Just like that. How do you adjust to such a huge change? That is heavily touched on in the show, and I thought it was great, because it's not something which I really thought about, if I'm being honest. Falcon and Winter Soldier goes a lot more serious than a comic book event like The Blip. It touches on real issues politically and socially in the world. Now, a lot of these things I don't want to get into because I'm not American, I'm Malaysian, so I don't feel it's my place to say anything of profound value or opinion concerning that. But there are other areas I thought which I would say are more universal, like income disparity. Early on, we find out that, you know, the Falcon needs to go to a bank to get a loan to sort out his own personal finances for his family. Not every superhero has Iron Man levels of wealth, right? So I thought that was good. I thought it was something which had to be addressed. It grounded things a little bit more. We also saw what it's like to be a patriot, or rather the dark side of it. But the biggest message of all, I feel, and this is universal, is racism, which they tackled head on. A couple of the examples in the show are quite Americanized, like how Sam was stopped by the cops for doing nothing, but then they let him go and they recognize him. That felt very American, but it's the concept of racism is universal. And it got a lot of people talking. This show certainly got a lot of people talking about racism and how they view it. And that is credit to the writers and the actors for doing it in the show. And I thought it was superbly handled. None more so than Isaiah Bradley and the issues that he's faced in his past to where he is now, and the apprehensions that he's facing about the world out there and about Sam taking up the shield of Captain America. I also have to give mention to the actor, Carl Lumbly, who portrayed Isaiah Bradley, because he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. To see a character who I never thought would be on the big screen or TV show in real life, he did it, and he did it with panache and class. Carl Lumbly, in case you don't know who he is, he's got history of DC. He was the voice for many years of Martian Manhunter. I think he did it in the video game as well, but he was in Justice League. He actually played Martian Manhunter's father in Supergirl. He's done a bit of work for Marvel previously. He voiced some characters in a Black Panther motion comic, and I first got to know Carl Lumbly in real life movies or TV shows when he was in Alias. Highly recommend that show, by the way. It launched or helped to launch the careers of Jennifer Garner, Bradley Cooper, and Victor Garber as well. There's a few people I would love to interview. Carl Lumbly is one of them. So if you're watching, Carl, salut, well done. So since we're on the topic of actors, Carl Lumbly, what about all the other actors in the show? Well, I gotta give a shout out. Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, in their trademark roles, it is their most famous role. They killed it. They knocked it out of the park as per usual. And it was great to see some other characters returning, like Emily VanCamp. She returned with a little twist at the end. A cameo from Don Cheadle, who we know as War Machine, Rhodey. I love the way they treated Baron Zemo. He returned in this, and I think it goes to show, you don't always have to kill off the bad guys in movies. Sometimes it's good to keep them on ice, keep them in prison, whatever, and bring them back for future use and grow them more. He was pretty cool, I have to say. George, St. Pierre was in it. If you're a fan of UFC or MMA, you would know exactly who I'm talking about. One of the best fighters ever. So it was awesome to see him in a Marvel TV show. I just wish the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character had been a bit more impactful. Now, it would have been because she appears in Black Widow, which was due to come out as a movie before this TV show, but because of the pandemic, it's all been shifted around. So we got Falcon and Winter Soldier before we actually got before Black Widow. If it had been the other way around, I'm sure she would have grabbed more headlines by her appearance in the show, and her motives would be better understood. It is a character from the comics that she's playing, by the way. I thought Wyatt Russell was great. I did a video, a very short one, about the hate he received, the actor, was because he was so good as John Walker or Captain America or US Agent, whichever character you want to view him as. He was brilliant. I'm hoping and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. They almost made him likable at the end. Almost. The show itself, I thought, started off really promisingly. I thought it had me hooked. Having John Walker, the new Cap, winking, apparently was an ad-lib from Wyatt Russell, was great. It had everybody in the entire world talking about the show, but I didn't feel like any of the other episodes had that hook which made me want more. Like, I couldn't wait for the next episode. WandaVision had that. I felt WandaVision had me hooked. I've just finished watching a TV show called Invincible, which is another comic book adaptation. That really hooked me in at the end of every episode. I just had to keep watching it. You can't let it go. That's why we end up binge watching shows. If Falcon and Winter Soldier had all come out at the same time, I don't think I would have watched it in one shot. I probably would have just spaced it out. I remember last year, I think it was Anthony Mackie said, this isn't like a TV show, it's more like a movie. And he's right. A very long movie, but just didn't have the same hook which I see from TV shows, which was a real shame, because WandaVision, the week couldn't pass by fast enough until I got the next episode. With Falcon and Winter Soldier, barring the first episode, it was a bit like, okay, yeah, we'll see what happens in the next one. I mean, the penultimate episode, in terms of pacing, really should have upped the ante, I feel. That was the episode where it's got to go all out before the season finale. Episode 4 could have taken a bit of a downer, but episode 5 had to go up, and it was more of a reflection episode and training from Sam. I wanted more from it. I just felt a bit disappointed. And then the final episode itself, it was alright, it was cool. I mean, seeing Sam appear in costume for the first time, that was one of the high points of the series, let alone the episode. But everything else, I don't know what's changed. When I say I don't know what's changed, let me compare it to WandaVision. When WandaVision started, we had no idea what was going on. I was hooked from the start. Wanted to know more. But by the end of WandaVision, Vision has come back to life in a completely, well, not completely new form, but in a different sort of form. And he's disappeared. We don't know what's happened with him. Wanda, coming to terms with her powers and realizing she's probably exponentially more powerful than she actually realizes she is. None of this was hinted at in the movies beforehand, so I felt that change had been implemented with WandaVision. Remember Endgame at the end, right? We expected Sam to become a Captain America. What happens at the end of the TV show? Sam becomes Captain America. There's no real change. It's just a longer process to get there. Bucky seemed to be trying to atone for his misdeeds. He's still doing it in this TV show, but he's still a good guy. Nothing has really changed for him in a seismic way. The only twist would be Sharon Carter's character being the power broker, which I saw coming a mile away, by the way. I don't want to boast, but I'm not the only person that saw that. Even that might be a red herring. She might be a shapeshifter. She might be a Skrull, and it might not even be the real Sharon Carter. That will be revealed in due course. So yeah, again, I just didn't feel like the storyline had progressed enough from the movies. This could have been a movie, or it might not have even happened full stop. We might have gone from Endgame to the next Captain America movie, where we see Sam appear in costume for the first time, and nothing would have been any different, really. That's a contrast to WandaVision, but that's my personal feeling. So what is next? Well, they've announced there's going to be a new Captain America movie, but I want to see more character development and advancement in the movie. So that should be fun. How's it going to be handled with no Chris Evans there anymore? The reveal of Sharon Carter, what's her future going to be? Are we going to see more of Baron Zemo, Valentina, and US Agent? What's their future going to hold? So I've talked about all these things during the review already. Those are things that we can definitely look forward to. Not sure if a second season is going to happen. It has been implied that it could happen or will happen, but nothing is confirmed. So we await further news. At time of recording anyway. So as for the show rating, the first episode I would have to give it a good 8.5 or 9 Adam's apples out of 10. But as the series progressed, I'm afraid I have to give it a 6.5. 6.5 Adam's apples out of 10. We have a glut of superhero content out there. We've got Loki coming out. We've had WandaVision. We've just had Falcon and Winter Soldier. There's Invincible on Amazon Prime. Superb. I'll do a review of that very soon. Jupiter's Legacy just came out. The Boys, new season is expected pretty soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I don't think Falcon and Winter Soldier is as good as some of those shows, but it's something definitely worth your time just to watch and enjoy. Anyway, do you agree or disagree? Make sure you leave a comment below. And yeah, you know what? Since we're on the topic of superheroes, I really should do Invincible very, very soon. Yeah, looking forward to it. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, bye.